Okay. Alright. Okay. I'm not sure if everybody can hear me now. And yes, I think it was just the OBS. That's what's going on because technology really sucks. So, oh god. I think I'm gonna have to type this in to brief you all in what's going on because right now I just can't. I just don't have the words to explain. I'm being dead honest with you guys. I'm legit lost for words. So stand by while add you guys down. Display capture. There we go. Now, while I type, I will answer any questions for you guys, and I'll try to explain the best of my knowledge. Up.
Ian, be quiet.
It's okay that you can say my real name. I revealed my real name at YouTube last year.
Quiet then.
Alright, Abby, come on.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I am sorry about that, guys, but you gotta give me credit. That is adorable. You can't lie to that. That is adorable. Come on. Come on, guys. That was adorable.
Play with that.
That really was adorable. And a little bit of positivity. So after that little positivity, I will breathe in what's going on in typing because since my speech impediment sucks, I will do my best. So I'm just gonna mute my mic. So y'all good, no worries. Window.exe has stopped working. Yeah, pretty much Nightshade. That's what happens. Yeah, pretty much. Alright, I will unmute, but right now I will type and I will answer any questions that anyone has for me. Oh, okay. Good news. I'm able to talk, so I'll try to explain the best of my knowledge. So, sorry. I will remove this screen and just add my title card, and I'll just hello, Brock McGinnis. Nothing's wrong with the microphone. It's just I muted it. I'm sorry about that. I was just trying to mute my mic because of background noise, but it's fine. And again, that's not my control. So I'm sorry that you all had to hear that, but you have to understand that I just have to live with it. I'm not complaining about it, but that's just how it is. So, alright, I will explain officially, and I'm sorry for everybody for keeping waiting, and I'm sorry for the misleading title. So, if you guys want to share this in any social media, you're more than welcome to do so. But I will explain this to the best of my knowledge now. So, as you all already know, of last year of October, it was revealed that an individual by the name of Victor Vortex, that it was revealed that he even admitted this in a quote-unquote confession video, which I will provide the link of that so-called confession video in the comment sections. I mean, in the link, in the description. Wow, I can understand why. I can understand why people have problems with speech impediment problems. I am sorry. So, back to the seriousness at hand is... Alright. in his so-called confession video, he even admitted to it in a video that he confessed that he ironically roleplayed with Angel Love when she was 14 years of age. And it was also revealed that in the recent Bad Idea podcast by Evan GR, again, the link of that video can also be provided in the description as well when I get to that. In the podcast, he even mentioned the reason why he ironically roleplayed with Angel Love at that age was because he was at a darker state, or perhaps that he was going through divorce, and supposedly, and I believe everybody can remember this part of that podcast, he kept dodging like serious yes or no questions that I know everybody with common sense would answer completely, but he keeps dodging them and not trying to give a straight answer. Now, I will clarify something, that if you can be specific on answering because of a disability, that's one thing, but I'm not excusing that or using that as a shield. However, oh God, I'm sorry. I need to fix my speech. I need to speak. Bleh. He even dodged. God. Again, I'm sorry for stammering and having bad choice of words. I'm just trying to do this in an unscripted manner possible. So, as it was revealed in that podcast, that he kept dodging questions. He was not giving straight answers to Anthony or everybody else in the podcast until Leo Convoy later on got into that call, which I will give some credit to the man, that when it comes to talking serious issues, and if you can't give him a straight answer and you are known as a liar for doing so, let me rephrase that. Backtrack. When it comes to Leo Convoy being angry, you better do your best to be honest with him and not lie or try to pull a BS card on him, because I know for a fact that I know everybody else can agree on that if you lie to Leo Convoy, you're screwed. So, I do agree with everything that Leo Convoy had said to Victor, and of course he left that call, and I believe this was like around November or December. If you guys want to clarify this in the chats, be free to do that right now. And as well as asking any questions regarding about me, which I will get to that in a bit. But during that certain period of time, he even admitted this in Gilded Dash's podcast, which again, I will provide that podcast as well in the description below. I'm going to try to do it in a chronological order, so that way you guys could just get recapped evenly, so that way you could all connect the dots. Oh, so sorry. Oh. Again, I am so sorry. Anyways. Back to the story. During that podcast with Gilded Dash, Benny Ross, and Ray, which everybody already knows this, Ray was defending and trying to explain what Victor did was wrong, and tried to say that he has learned from his mistakes, which I'm not gonna lie, I do believe in that moral, but actions speak louder than words. That is another proverb I believe in. And the one thing I can understand people not wanting Victor to come back, and trust me, I am one of those people that don't want him back whatsoever. I honestly do not want him back during that whole time period. So, during that podcast, Victor even admitted the reason why he left was because they were bashing on him, as he put it, in that podcast. Again, I could be wrong, or I am wrong to that. I'm sorry. Again, I'm trying to explain this the best of my knowledge. But in that podcast, he was basically trying to state that, oh, they were basically making that atmosphere and that call like a witch hunt, which that's completely not true. And a lot of people have said that a lot of people were not happy with him coming back during that time. And yes, I was one of those people, and I'm gonna admit this right now. I was one of those people that bashed on Rachel, and I did see her as an enabler. But I will clarify this right now. And no, I will clarify this later, which again, I will answer any questions for you guys. Sorry about that noise, but I will provide any answers that you guys want to ask of me, but I will do my best. But now, during that period, I decided to be like, you know what? I think I need to contact Wubcake and North and get their side of the story between the whole Victor Vortex and Angel Love scenario, because I want to hear their thoughts. So I contacted Wubcakes in Discord, which in the server that I was a part. I actually private messaged her in Discord asking her, hey, is it okay if you could be in this podcast with me just to explain about the whole Victor Vortex scenario? And she was kind enough to say yes. So she, along with Gilda Dash, Northbridge, John Anthony 702, and a few others of my group of friends that got involved in that podcast, which the link of my Jedi Griffon Podcast episode 2, the Victor Vortex debate as it's called, we were basically discussing like how Rachel was trying to allow someone like Victor to crawl back into the fandom. And of course, we did have our choice of words, and it was bitter. But we were trying to explain our side of the story, like how we portrayed the situation to the best of our knowledge. And if you want to watch that link of that podcast, I will provide the link of that too. But I will warn you, there is some minor swears and a little bit of statements. And hold on a second. Is that chocolate?
Yeah, and it's all from me.
Oh, come on! I'm trying to make a recap.
Like that. It's a two.
Sorry about the pause, guys. My dad decided to offer delicious chocolate cake. But back to the topic at hand. I was. And he put chocolate frosting on my keyboard.
On your hand, not your keyboard.
But some of it went on my mouse.
It just makes it better.
Oh my god. Don't ask about that, guys, but let me just get back to the story. So during that podcast, I listened to Wubcake and Northbridge's side of the story with like how they know of Angel Love during that time, like how they feel with Victor doing what he did with Angel, and which they did have very solid statements, which I 110% agree on, including what Northbridge even said in that podcast, which I will provide the links of their YouTube channels down in the description below as well when I get the chance, either at the middle or at the end of this stream. Sorry. And again, if you guys want to ask, sorry to pause this recap again. If you guys want to ask me any questions, it can be about this whole scenario and what it has to do with me. I will get to that in a bit, but sorry. But during that time period, before I continue, I gotta have to say is Wub. Yes, Wubcake has my respect. She is a very, and I'm not gonna lie, she's a very respectful individual. I really respect her.
My volume is very,
Sorry.
very loud, and I can.
Sorry. It's Angel Love, SD Darkest, not Angel Heart. It's Angel Love. You're right. No, you're right, SD. You're right about that, Darkest. But we're not talking about Angel Heart. Let me clarify that one now. That's not who we're talking about. We're talking about Angel Love, who is a friend of Wubcake and North Bridge for quite a while. But during the Jedi Griffon Podcast, oh God, I'm sorry. I need to backtrack a bit. There we go. Okay, back to normal. But I listened to North Bridge's side of the story, explain that what Rachel was doing was enabling behavior, which that is something I do agree on, and that's something I did believe in.
Are you doing your thing again today?
But, alright, sorry about that, guys, but, so, a while back of this week, let's just fast forward to this week of Monday of January, which I believe that would be the 21st. It was revealed that there was a... Hey, Gildash, I will get to that in a second, Gildash. Actually, are you able to be in this stream a bit? Yes or no? If not, then I'll add you in. Alright, again, Dash, are you able to be in this stream for a bit? Yes or no? Dash, are you able? For a short bit of time, sure. Okay, hang on, I'll add you in. Hang on. And if Skype does not take forever, I don't know why my Skype is taking forever. Like, what the hey? Okay, let's do this again. Come on, Skype. Here we go. It's loading. Alright, Dash, I'll add you in a second. Oh, okay, Darkus, that's not funny, dude. Come on. Let's not insult my... Don't insult my fellow... Don't insult... Oh, wait, never mind. This is a serious matter, but I'll get to that joke in just a bit. So, for a little bit, yes, okay. Okay, hang on. Alright. Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so Gildash here could help me out a bit on during this week time period. I already recapped as much as I can throughout the timeline from Victor Vortex from October of last year all the way to my podcast to the best of my knowledge as I can possible. So I'm gonna go to this Monday, which is the 21st or the 20th. I think it was on the 21st, but during Monday, it was revealed that if there was a call between Gildash, Victor Vortex, and Rachel, that if Gildash wants to fill in that piece, she is able to do so. So that she could explain of what's going on.
Well, I mean, pretty much the call had happened on the Friday before. Monday was the earliest I could talk to anyone about it because I was busy with work.
Okay, so I was off. Sorry about that. I was way off, guys. So sorry.
No, it came out Monday, so you weren't like wrong. I was just explaining.
Okay, go ahead.
And what it was is Victor wanted me to help him be able to go to BronyCon. And I told him it was a bad idea and kept trying to tell him he didn't want to listen, didn't want to hear words. And then, and he was worried that his mother was finding out about this and There was a lot of different little things. And then
Uh, and
and then and at that point I'd already kind of figured out who Victor was, so I was just like, I was ready to, already, make sure he didn't get anywhere in this fandom again. And so I had decided to record the call, and then I went ahead and I recorded the call, and some information came out from the call that I went ahead and, once I had all that, I went to FNGR, and me and him spoke briefly, and then he went live with a podcast, and me and him also dealt with that, and I gave him the call. He had somebody, and then he put it up on Fan and Frenzy, and that's where we were at. And then that Monday night, he decided to call me. Him and Rachel called me because they saw that there was a new podcast about Victor, and they were freaking out because they didn't bother to watch it and didn't realize that I was the one that gave all the information out.
And that was during the time and also regarding the day after, this was the time where I contacted Benny Ross. I wanted to understand why Rachel would encourage Victor to not only return to Harmony Studios as it was rumored. So I wanted to talk to him, and at first it was a little bit of a heated debate, and he could validate the statement if you guys want to chat with him, which, let me clarify, like, we had different opinions about the whole atmosphere between what Rachel was doing with Victor and how it was a bad idea for her to be in association with him, and that she was going to be dragged down in the mud. Okay, I need to answer this real quick. Darkus, I do not know. I do not know that. I do not know if he's still around or he's gone dark again. I do not know. It is uncertain. Gildash, are you able to answer that question? Is Victor still around or has he gone dark?
I have no idea what he's doing. Everybody I know is cutting ties with him, so he's not reaching out to anybody.
Alright, we will get to that part in a bit. So, during that night, me and Gilda Dash here, and if she wants to explain that part of the call too, I would let her speak that part, but I actually asked Gilda Dash to be in the call with me with Betty because it did start to get a little heated because I had a bit of disagreements with the fact that what Rachel was doing with Victor was bad and all that, and how Victor was indeed a criminal, and even though he's trying to paste himself a victim, he's using Rachel. And I even kind of noticed this detail that she was being used is because that's kind of like the similar situation with Toon Critic, and that's just in my opinion, but I think Gilda should explain that part of the call too, between me, Benny, and her. Because honestly, that atmosphere was a little tense, but it did come into conclusion that the three of us actually really came to an understanding that Victor is really doing something that would not only drag Rachel into the mud, but also is gaslighting her, manipulating her, and telling very different stories that was irrelevant of what he told her, not only in Gilda Dash's streams, but in many other videos as well that he was in. If that is correct.
Pretty much, he was flat out lying about things.
So
to people.
So during that night, and yes, I did got asked this before, which I will get to that part in a bit, but Okay, here we go. During this time period, I actually got him into a call, which I'm actually surprised I actually got him in the call. I really did want it to early of October, but at that time, I was extremely angry at that time. But mentally, I was not prepared at that time period, but a part of me wanted to just get to the bottom of the situation. So, me, Benny, I'm sorry. Sorry about my siblings, guys.
That's simple. And if you don't wait, it's your fault.
Anyways. Oh, okay, now I got it. So, I got him into a call, which I did make that a podcast, and the atmosphere of that podcast, and even Benny, who I hope he's in this comment section, in the chats right now, but in this chat, in that podcast, the atmosphere, I could tell instantly that he was not only gaslighting me, but trying to manipulate me and trying to pull off a Caesar's show. But that is where part of me was angry, and a part of me wanted to be, to at least give him a little shred of humanity. If that makes any sense here in this call. In this stream, but I just wanted him to tell the truth. To at least tell the truth that he was not only lying, but the fact that what he was doing was criminal. And I wish I could have done it better, which I know everybody in the chat logs would probably ask me why I could have done it better, which, you're right, I could have done it better. But a part of me was kind of glad that I did, because I not only exposed Victor as a liar and a manipulator and using Rachel as for his sick intentions, but at least I did the right thing and a moral obligation to expose him further. Could I have done it right? Yes. Am I proud of that? Absolutely. I'm actually proud that I actually made this aware. And yes, I did notify that podcast to Anthony and everybody else in his group, which again, yes, they even asked me, did I do this legally? Because yes, I was freaking out the day before work. I was freaking out until Gilda Dash here had to help me with the research and assured me that what I was doing was legal. And I was happy about that. I sighed in relief. I was still stressful, angry, furious, and I was just an emotional wreck because I was not mentally prepared. But I was glad that I did it right, because I will say this right now. Hello, I cannot say that name right. I cannot say this name right. Geronimo? Charles? Anyways, but again, I am very glad that I brought that to to Evan GR's attention. I was very glad that God, what is the proper word to explain this? I really want this to be good.
Oh my god. I really did mess up.
Victor, okay, I need to answer this from Bug McGinnis. Why are you giving Victor a merciful conversation? Okay, I want to clarify this right now too. Because I wanted, as a Christian, yes, I'm admitting this right now, even though my videos and my tone of voice earlier didn't show that. But part of my belief wanted to give him a shred of humanity. Yes, I wanted him to tell the truth, and I wanted to understand what possessed him to do what he did, why he changed his stories, which I wish I could have exposed him further. But regardless, though, I did what I did. And even Gilda Dash and everybody else that got involved after he left the podcast, like Leo Convoy, Sheldon, and even Gilda Dash here could confirm this. In the call, he basically proved mine and Gilda's and Benny's point earlier on that day. that he was in fact a liar.
The fact is everyone's like, you need to rip and tear these people as soon as you get them on a podcast. But if you want to get them to say something, you have to act like they're friends sometimes.
Exactly. I was trying to give him I was trying to give him one little shred of giving him a chance to give whatever shred of dignity he has to confess. That was my intentions. Again, I'm sorry for the background noise, but I'm gonna try. It can't be helped, but I did what I had to do. Could I have done it right? Yes. Could I have done it, could I have done it professionally without losing my cool? Absolutely. But regardless, though, I was proud of getting that out in public. I was glad of giving it to FNGR in the right legal way possible, which I'm very happy about that. And again, I am thankful that I further exposed him as a liar, but I wish I could have done better. And I'm not sure if everybody here in this chat or if anybody that's watching the stream right now could have told me, I just wish I could have done it better. But I'm just glad that I did it the right way. So now we're going to have to get back to the parts of Wednesday to now. There is some new information after the How Not to Brony video of 110. There was some new information that came out, which we're not at liberty to discuss at this time because, I have to respect that. That is a case-by-case details, and I'll let Gildash and Anthony and everybody else handle that information. But there was more information that came out that revealed that Victor did just more than what he claims to do. And I cannot say anything further, but it was the final nail in the coffin to cause Rachel to see the truth of who Victor is and what he's capable of and using her. But I just do not know if I don't have the proper words to describe that atmosphere during that time. If that makes sense, Gildash and everybody here. But, okay, here we go. Oh, God, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to breathe and try to remain calm because, yes, I do not want to deal with this again. Because this is a final stream, and this is my...
Okay, Ben.
Yes?
Hold on. So, here's the facts. If you see Victor Vortex, he has more victims. Yep. We're almost sure of this. We have very strong reasons to believe he has more victims. Very strong reasons to believe. Now, if you ever see Victor Vortex in person and he's with a child, feel free to call the police.
Contact his local precinct in his state. And again, I'm actually gonna. I wanted to explain this at the end of this, but I think now is the time to do this. As Rachel mentioned in her tweet this morning, and yes, I read the tweets, and my God, I'm very proud of her realizing that who Victor was, and the fact that she, Wubcake and North are on good terms now, after having a civil conversation, and I'm just very glad of that. And another thing was, as Gildash pointed, there is other information that there could be more victims than just Angel Love. Geronimo, I do not know what state that Victor is at this time, but just again, report Victor Vortex at to Interpol. Is that the correct internet address? Interpol. I'll provide the link of that in the description, but
Interpol isn't going to touch this because it's not international.
Oh, yes, that's right. It's an international thing. But the point is, just report him. If you know Victor Vortex in real life, just do not associate with him. And again, I'm going to say this right now, and I want people to understand this and understand why I'm about to say this, but I do not wish ill will to Victor Vortex. I really do not. Part of me is still compassionate to him. Part of me does want to believe that maybe he has changed, but I'm taking that belief with a pinch of salt after everything that's come into light. However... Oh my god, sorry about that. Anyways, I do believe, though, that he needs to pay for the consequences of his actions, and the fact that he's trying to not only manipulate, but gaslight, not giving a straight answer, not telling the truth, and he keeps dodging serious questions, as Gildadash already can point out herself. But the fact is, he actually further exposes himself as a liar. I do want him to seek help. I do not wish ill intentions with him, but I do believe he has to face the consequences of his actions. And I really advise everyone to contact every convention heads possible to keep this individual ban as soon as possible. Contact every heads of Brony Convention, Babs Con, Cider Fest, and every other conventions that are available. Just do what must be done to make him understand that he is no longer welcome in this community or any other fandom whatsoever. So, Victor Vortex, if you're seeing this video, I do have sympathy for you, man, but you done screwed up. What you did was wrong. You need to pay for your consequences of your actions, and I really do hope that you get the help that you need. That is all I have to say to you, Victor. Now, again, sorry for my stammering, but again, to Rachel, however, there's been some issues with people backlashing on Rachel. I think me and Gildash need to clarify some things right now. That the fact that people are saying that Rachel is enabling Victor's behavior, which we're basically gonna have to reveal she was a victim too.
Well, I mean,
Go ahead.
he manipulated and used her. You know, in the end, she was manipulated, she was used, she was lied to, she was Victor was just doing what, normal pedophile sociopaths do. Lie, cheat, manipulate, try to sleep with kids, that kind of thing. And, she just fell for his stuff. And, now that she's seen the truth, she's very much... she's apologized to. She's made an apology, a public one to everyone, and she's, talked with most of the people that were directly affected by her actions and made peace with them. At this point, I don't think anybody should be messing with Rachel or giving her a hard time. She's remorseful, and she's realized she messed up, and she has taken the actions to correct her mistakes. If the person that put up that petition to have her banned from the conventions, why? She's not, Victor, yeah, let's ban the crap out of Victor. Let's ban him out of the earth, let's just ban him to the sun. That sounds like a good place. Can we get a petition for that to launch Victor to the sun via cannon? I mean that would be really great, but that's just my opinion. But let Rachel be. Let her, step down, calm down from all this, because she's upset too, because she's realized that somebody that she thought she could be really, she thought was a good person and she got kind of close to was a really shitty person. I mean, how would you feel, if you got with somebody and and you were talking with them, you got really close to them, and you know suddenly you find out they're a shitty person. It hurts. So let's show her a little bit of, let's just cut her a little bit of slack because she's doing the right thing and she did it on her own volition. But I mean, I guess it's up to everyone to decide what they want, but that's just my thoughts. I mean, why attack somebody that was, in essence, victimized by this person in a way too. And I hate to say it, but yeah, there's a lot to unpack to what Victor did to Rachel, that though not as bad as pedophilia, it's still, what he did was shitty, really shitty to her. And yeah, I don't know where the hell Ben's at. He's left me here flying out solo. Whatever. I don't know, because Pluto, cold fate. I mean, what if something picked him up along the way? I don't know. Like, the sun just sounds more appealing. It's more final. It's more sure. Because I don't promote anybody killing anybody. I don't think you should try and kill anybody. I don't think you should give anyone death threats. Just at the end of the day, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the guy's he's out the fandom, and hopefully he's out of every fandom. Hopefully we never see him again. He lives a really crappy life. He lives a really crappy life, and for whatever years he has left, and hopefully, his parents take his daughter away from him, and because yeah, for that guy does not. He needs to just live a crappy life. I mean, best case scenario, he ends up on the street, homeless, and nobody ever has to worry about him again. And I wish Ben would show up again. I have to leave soon. Oh well. Yeah, this is Ben. Where are you? Yeah, well, we can only hope that he doesn't keep his custody with his daughter. Oh no, I agree. Victor's parents should disown him. And Nightshade, it's never too late for adoption. You can technically adopt somebody up until the age of 21 or something like that.
I'm so sorry for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just doing a quick chore real fast, but I'll be right back as fast as I can. Please continue, Gildas. I'm sorry to interrupt.
I guess I'm your host for this evening, everyone. Um, I guess we're going to change this to the Hippogriff Podcast. Screw Ben. Let's do this. Well, the fact is Victor lives with his parents and his daughter's there. So if his parents find out, they might very well take the daughter from Victor and take her in themselves. I mean, yeah, Victor's just I don't know. What kind of a person tries to justify pedophilia as I was going through a dark time? Nobody would want to adopt Victor Knight. Why? Who would want to adopt Victor? That's like asking if that'd be like after World War II asking if someone wanted to adopt Hitler. Nobody wants to adopt Victor. We're done. Nobody wants him. He did what he did. You really have to ask that, Darkus. I mean, seriously, why do pedals look ugly? Well, I mean, I guess if they weren't ugly, they'd be able to pick up chicks and wouldn't need kids. Daddy 05. Yeah, I don't even think Daddy 05 would want Victor. I think the only thing Daddy 05 would do with Victor is beat him over the head with a piñata stick. I guess that would make an interesting video for him. Well, Blaze and Blade, Victor, no pedo's ever gonna turn themselves in. Look at Toon. Toon's still running around doing whatever he does. These pedos don't turn themselves in. They don't go get help. Brock, I don't really watch it. I don't know Daddy 05 very well. I just seen something briefly recently about him. Like, honestly, I don't know who that is. I got better things to do with my life than watch somebody that beats on their kids. Now, you do know what would probably happen if, this was like the old days. Anybody got any guesses on what would happen if this was like the 16 or 1700s? Yeah, we know. Scumbag, blah, blah, blah. No, actually, they'd probably castrate him. In point of fact, certain countries still would. Can we do that? Can we like export Victor to? Can we just export all our pedophiles to country that castrates pedophiles? Oh, Storm. Ben was really just giving his final thoughts on Victor, and he had to go do something. So I'm kind of here. Just fill it in. I've taken over his podcast. I'm answering questions because I'm not sure what else to talk about because I've pretty much said everything I had to say. No, Knight. They don't break it. They cut it off. No, Brock. I'm not promoting that anyone goes and that does this to Victor. I'm just saying, can we export him to a country that would? That's somebody else's laws, not mine. That's not me saying let's do this to him. I'm saying let's just send him to a country that has laws that allow for this. See, we're keeping it all legal, above board. It's legal if they want to. If the other country takes him and decides to do that, that's we didn't do anything. We just sent him to another country. He's the one that decided to get in trouble there. But in all seriousness, I'll stop being weird. I'll stop being weird and talking about this. So, look, in a serious note, if you think you know anyone that is, abusing people, or someone that's a victim of abuse, whether it's pedophilia or just straight abuse of any kind, do your best to help them. And if you're not sure how you can help, reach out to somebody that you think can. You can always reach out to Ben. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to FNGR. You can reach out to, there's tons of people out there that will help the best they can if somebody's being abused. And just reach out to us, so that way we can help. All the earlier silliness from the 5 minutes ago aside. I mean, honestly, I just like to help people, and so you come to me asking for help with something, I will probably help you the best I can, and I'm sure Ben will too. So if you know anybody, or if you yourself end up the victim of abuse, let somebody know. Because these people can't be stopped if nobody knows. We can't stop them if we don't know who they are. Knight, FNGR is a pretty cool guy. I'm sorry to tell you, he's a pretty cool guy. Yeah, exactly, Darkness. Let's, get this community safe. We're about to hit a transition period in this community, and if we want it to survive, we need to make it to safe, more inviting. My thoughts on Sega Sister scandal, look, Sega Sister did what she did. Do I think she did the right thing? No. I really think she should have, she should come out and admit that, she messed up. That she messed up and that she needs to and make an apology. That's my thoughts. She can after that she can do whatever she wants. Like, it's, I know she's already lost people. And Darkest, I did try to say Darkest. If it came out Darkness, I'm sorry. Just, I should be walking out the door to go to work, but Ben's left me here holding his podcast. I have no idea why Victor. I have no idea why FNGR blocked you. Shit happens, but he's still. If you ever got to know him, he's actually a pretty cool guy.
Hello, I am back. Sorry about that. What were we talking about?
No, go away. This is now the Hippogriff Podcast.
I am so sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I did not mean to put Gildas in the spotlight. There, I had to do some things real quick. I'm sorry. Who was the decent guy you mentioned earlier? Who was that? FGR or Leo?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is decent. I'm not gonna lie. He is a decent person. And now let me recap everything. I'd say people like Victor and such is more important than people like Sega. Oh God.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, that's true. So, where was I before I got interrupted? About Rachel, or did you already recap that a bit?
I've recapped the stuff about Rachel and everything.
Okay, then I almost went full barbarian. Brock, what did you do?
Nothing. We just had a little chat about, the different laws in different countries and things they might do to Victor if we exported him there.
Like I said, that's a state-by-state standards, but again...
We said export him to a different country.
Oh, to a different country. Oh.
Yeah, let them handle him.
I would say Russia, but that's too harsh. And I do not want to get in trouble, so nope. But still. But yeah, the majority of this podcast was about me explaining this in my full story. Like, I did what I had to do. I'm glad that I got involved to let Rachel understand the full story, which I think you explained that part, that she explained her full side of the story.
Yeah.
So pretty much you all got recapped about Rachel being used. So I think we're just going to brief in a bit about what our whole thoughts about this. And I mean, our last thoughts on this whole situation, that we just clear the dust off our shoulders and not talk about this anymore and let the laws handle this the right way. So I will say my part. Again, I do have compassion for people, and I do believe that there is always good in every people, but the fact that what has come to light recently with Victor, the fact that he lied, manipulated, and even gaslighted, and even used Rachel and trying to drag her down in the mud and get her stuck in the crossfire is inexcusable. And I really think she needs to pay the consequences of his actions, not her. I'm sorry. I meant to say his. If that all makes sense. So, anybody has any last words to say about this?
Hold on real quick, Ben. Cyanide, look, like I said, Sega needs to just come out and admit that what she did was wrong, but that's not the topic we're really here for. We just kind of got on it because...
No, we are not talking about Sega. That's a different topic.
Yeah.
Sorry, low voice.
And just a random thought of the day, I have a 40 caliber bullet on my desk and I don't own a gun. Just random thought. It's a live bullet, but I have no gun for it.
Alright, but yeah, huh? What? What happened?
Oh, I was talking about I have a 40 caliber bullet on my desk and I own no gun.
Ouch. Is that even possible?
Yeah, why can't you can have a bullet without having a gun?
I would say have like the shotgun shells, even though I can't have a pump action shotgun. I mean, I like those.
Well, no, this is a live bullet. It still has, like, if I, hit it the wrong way, it would probably go off and shoot the bullet somewhere.
Oh.
I don't know why. It's just a random thing, random thought.
Oh boy. Now, again, I will say this right now, Sega is a different matter, but we're here to talk about Victor. So, again, I will say contact every convention head possible. Just let them know what's going on, who he is, what he's done, and let them decide whether or not he is banned. But we need to do what needs to be done. And honestly, I do not want to be associated with this individual.
Alright, I'm gonna say this. If a convention doesn't ban Victor Vortex, then we need to boycott that convention. Plain and simple. Conventions should not allow pedophiles at their convention area, and if they do, they're not worth going to. real quick, I'm going to I have to take off. I have to go do work, so I will catch you later, man. Catch you all later. Thanks for letting me in.
Okay, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, but sorry about that, everybody. But Gildadash had to leave, and before I go, I have this last say. Sorry for the misled title, everybody, but I will say this right now. I'm hoping so too, and um, Stormblitz, I need to make this very simple. Is I do not wish ill will towards anyone. Yeah, that's all I've got for now. So I think this is ended, and um, I will try to make a nerd video for you guys tonight, or Monday or Friday. Hopefully, we'll do an MLP discussion on the future of the fandom. Be sure to check that out. I even placed a poll again on Twitter. So I believe this stream is ended. So laters.